All right. Hey guys, Kirsten here with Whole Life Freedom, Holistic Health Coaching. I hope you're doing well today. Boy, what a year it has been. We are now in December, nearing the finish line of quite an incredible year that has posed a lot of shifts and changes for all of us. And I hope you're coming on to the other side of it in this season. And if not, I just send blessings your way and hope that new things are coming your way. So I send all of that to you wherever you're listening from and tuning in from. And today I wanted to talk about the value of a morning routine. And I know that may even sound cliche, but it's something that I really give to every one of my clients and I talk to everyone about. And anytime there's a problem, really, we always start with what's happening in your morning. And that really is such a challenging thing. You know, when I first started wanting to get my health back together and really was so fatigued, my mornings were so rough because I couldn't get up in the morning. And so to have some sort of routine felt like that wasn't something that I could do. And I started to realize that if the world's most successful people, whether they are athletes, whether they're business people, whether they're authors or singers or musicians or writers, the thing that they have in common is having a successful morning. Every single one of them, study after study after study, showed that they had a routine that they did every morning. And we know that athletes, they have routines before games, they have routines before every practice that they do, they have a warm-up routine and a cool-down routine and a mindset routine. We know that musicians and actors, they have routines before they perform. The high-performing business people, they have routines. So if we can say that word one more time, it is something that really creates success out from the door. But, what does that have to do with my health? Well, your day, really how you approach your day, starts with the morning, except I'm going to actually change that. So yes, it starts in the morning, and however you get out of your bed really makes a big difference for how the rest of your day, the entire rest of your day plays out. Either you wake up and have ownership of your day and say, I am so loved, and I also am a powerful person, and I step out of bed and I thrive in my morning. And if I can thrive in my morning, I can thrive for the whole rest of my day. And so the very first way of having a successful morning is to have a successful night. I know that sounds almost a little funny, but really when I kept trying to get up early every morning and it wasn't working, I'd just be too tired, so I'd hit that snooze button. You gotta love the snooze button. I still love my snooze button, but I actually do it intentionally now. I know that most studies say don't ever do the snooze button. It's the worst thing that you can do. But the more that I coach myself and coach others, the more I realize we really have to do the thing that works the best for us. And if we don't listen in and say, hey, how was I wired? How am I designed? How am I created? And I really enjoy that space when the snooze button goes off and I know I've got an extra 9 minutes and I can just be there, say good morning. I say, here I am, and I just rest and I be still. And I don't like the feeling personally of popping out of bed and rushing into the next thing. And so that's one thing that we have to listen to, is what actually does work. And if you like that snooze button, then you need to know I need to wake up and act. I need to set my first alarm 10 minutes before I actually want to get up. So that's a little tip and trick for you to help with that morning. But, a lot of times I hear people say, I'm just not a morning person. I'm really more of a night person. I used to say I'm neither a morning nor a night person. And I think I still would say that, to be honest with you. But what I've noticed is that you can actually shift yourself from a night person into a morning person, but it has to be gradual and you have to kind of work with yourself, listen to yourself, and allow your body to shift into that space. And you think about it, every parent has to become a morning person when their child wakes up in the morning. So we can become that person. But really what happens is that we are just used to having a late night routine. And so then we can't get up early when we have a late night routine. And so that's why having a good sleep hygiene program, and I love the sound of sleep hygiene. It makes it sound like you've got to go to bed clean. I think it's kind of funny, but sleep hygiene is really about creating a nighttime routine that allows you to wind down properly, go to bed on time, have a dark room and an environment in your room that is set for a deep sleep. And, some of the things that you can do is count backwards. What time do I need to leave in the morning or start my morning with everyone else? If it's with family or with work or life, working out, different things, what time do I need to start? Work your way backwards. I want to have, 30 minutes, maybe an hour for your morning routine. And then go, okay, I need to have about, 9 minutes for my snooze button if you do that. And then now count backwards that full 8 hours for you to get your sleep. Now, you might think you don't need 8 hours, but the truth is when you start to fall asleep, you're going to actually not get that full 8 hours if you say, I'm going to sleep from 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. Well, if you lay down into bed at 10 p.m., you're not going to fall asleep at 10. And so you still will only get roughly 7.5 hours of sleep. And trust me, I've tracked it multiple times for myself. But that's the case either way. You want to really give yourself that cushion and padding. And if you know you really need a full 8 hours of sleep, well, going to lay down in bed at 10 p.m. is not going to give you a full 8 hours of sleep if you need to wake up at 6. So it's just a bit of planning and saying, I'm going to try this for 1 week. So your body needs time to get into a routine. So what if you tried it for 1 week? Count backwards. What time do you want to actually wake up and have a morning routine? And then count backwards and find out how you can set your evening up for success. We know that blue light material from our phones, our computers, our TVs, those coming into our eyes actually don't allow melatonin to start to come into our body and cause us to wind down. So if we have those on, we need all of our devices closed off at least 30 minutes before we plan to go to bed. So we want to make sure we start turning those things off half an hour early. We want to make sure we, maybe have a wind down tea with some chamomile or an herbal tea of some sorts. Start to signal your body that it's time to go to bed. For a lot of people, magnesium can really help. Not too close to when you fall asleep, but those kind of things. Having a routine, making sure your room is dark and you can actually get that deep REM cycle happening. So you've got your nighttime set up. Say, how do I need to have my nighttime so that my morning is a success? All right. So, okay, switch over to the morning. Now morning happens. Here's another thing. One thing that you can do at night, again, before going to bed, is actually close your eyes and picture yourself getting up and going through your morning routine. Now, I had to do this a lot when I first started because I would wake up and I would actually just sit there and go, what am I supposed to be doing again? And okay, maybe I'll check my phone, or I'm going to go downstairs and get some water, and what am I doing? I'll read something and journal, spend some time praying. But it wouldn't end up feeling like is very successful. And not that we have to judge our success based on anything, but you really build in such a powerful lifestyle when you can know what you're doing in the morning. You wake up with intention. I'm going to take this day and I'm going to take ownership of it before it takes ownership of me. And that is a really powerful experience and powerful feeling. So what I do, what I love doing is I have my morning routine written out on a little note card. And at night before I go to bed, now I have it pretty in place, but I do this if I change it up. Sometimes I go, okay, I'd like to spend a little more time in prayer this week, or I'd like to spend a little more time journaling and doing a brain dump, or reading, or I like to put on worship music and do things like that for myself. Everyone has different things that they like. I personally love the miracle mornings. I kind of make it my own in a way that does that for me, but Hal Elrod recommends having time where you spend time in silence. You can just breathe and you're just quiet. Visualization, affirmations, journaling, reading, and of course, exercise and movement. But how you integrate that in is really up to your own personality. But having things that you do, especially within the first 5 minutes of waking up, is really key, because that gets you going. It gets you moving. And so the first 3 things that I really found are the most helpful for most of us to get going is when your alarm goes off, whether it's the first alarm you do or the second alarm you do, if you like to hit snooze, make sure you hop out of bed. Doesn't have to be in a hurry. You peacefully get out of bed and either go to the restroom and wash your face. If you need to use the restroom, go for it, but wash your face and brush your teeth. Doing those things automatically wakes you up. And then we need to hydrate. You've been dehydrated for 8 hours, hopefully 8 hours or thereabouts, all night long. Your body is longing for water and getting hydrated. So I love to have a large glass of lemon water. Now during the winter, I like it to be a nice and warm or room temperature, but during the summer and sometimes even during the winter, because I'm in Southern California, might feel really refreshing to have a nice big glass of cold lemon water. But it hydrates you, it gets your body into an alkaline state, it wakes you up. Don't you need to be woken up in the morning? But it also gets all your organs and your system moving and going and hydrated. And so it allows your brain to wake up without a sense of caffeine kind of coming in. So that is something really powerful you can do, really simple. Everyone can do it. But once you've had that water, your brain is awake, you're thinking more clearly, and you've kind of gone through a routine. Now, the next part I think is really important and really helpful is to change your clothes. Now, that seems kind of funny, but I actually love just sitting in my pajamas when I do my morning time. But the thing about doing that is that you're still kind of in that state of bed, sleep, and it's harder to wake up. So what I like to do is actually have a set of morning clothes that are comfortable that I get into. And it's just simply about switching my brain from bedtime into morning time. I'm getting my day going and moving. And now if I'm going to go out for a run or a workout or something like that, I will just change immediately into my workout clothes. Now, I don't usually do my workout until after my morning routine, but there are days I'll do it right away, but it kind of helps get me into the mindset of, okay, I'm awake and my day has started and I'm in a new set of clothes. I'm doing that. And so then you want to go into, having a couple of things that you do. So when you're still trying to wake up, I don't know about you, but I know for me, it's hard to remember, what am I doing? So I try to do kind of entry-level things. So I don't want to sit down and read a real heady book, or I really love to read the Bible in the morning to get my heart and mind connected to God and my spirit. But I can't do that right off the bat. I will sit there and read and fall asleep. And so, you want to start yourself easy. So I love to do just that kind of silence and breathing, deep breathing, kind of gets your mind clear, gets you awake, and just kind of at peace with yourself and the day, and kind of setting your intentions even for your morning time. And then after that, I like to do what's called a brain dump. So there are a lot of different names for this. A lot of people have their phrases. For example, Julia Cameron of The Artist Way loves to call morning pages where you sit and journal. Others have called it a thought download. Others have called it just simply journaling. I've found that the word journaling doesn't always sound very appealing to most people. So you've got to really find the term that comes to you. But the idea is get those thoughts out of your brain. When we wake up in the morning, there are so many thoughts that kind of bombard us and hit us, and we want to take ownership of that. When we tend to just put them aside or ignore them, we don't acknowledge that they're there. And our thought life and our thought world is really the key to our health, our energy levels, our ability to overcome barriers, and so many other things. We actually live out of what we believe that comes out of our thought life. And so we want to live with intention and powerful lives. We have to start taking those thoughts captive. And the best way to do that is right off the bat, first thing in the morning, start journaling. I love the idea of just dump it all out, get it out there. No one's going to see it. Just empty your brain. It allows you to kind of see what's out there. And so from that point, I like to shift. I like to see what my thoughts are. And I like to then take it into a place of gratitude. So I kind of get out any of maybe there's negative thoughts, maybe there's not, but just whatever it is that's floating out there. And then kind of shift into what am I grateful for? And really, there are a lot of journals or programs where you can, do a gratitude challenge, things like that. But one of the things that I have found is that if you don't actually engage your heart and mind and your spirit with those things you're grateful for, you're just coming up with another list. So even saying, I'm going to write out 3 things I'm grateful for, and I'm going to take a minute and really soak in those. And I'm going to sit in gratefulness that I have these things in my life. And sometimes they're small things, and sometimes they're big things. But it kind of shifts you into a perspective of, wow, thank you. Thank you for these things in my life, and gets you into the right space. And so we've got our morning routine. If I recap a couple of things, we wake up and we get out of bed and we get moving. We go to the restroom, wash our face, brush our teeth, go down, have some fresh lemon water, and then we come and get changed. And then when you've gotten changed, again, take these things and rearrange them. I've rearranged them over the years, tried them different times in different ways to find out what really resonates the most with me. But some of these things have been studied many, many times over what kind of helps create success. And it also helps our bodies and our minds and our spirit be ready and prepared for the day. So spending some time in silence and breath, allowing yourself to just breathe and be at peace, writing your thoughts out, getting those out on paper, taking some time for gratitude, and then shifting into a space of declarations or affirmations. Those can be so powerful when you start to hear your own voice speak out. Your body, your spirit, your mind start to respond and create new neural pathways. And you start to declare good things, life over your day, over yourself, over your family, over the things that you have ahead of you for that day. It starts to create a really powerful setup. And then other things that you can do, like I mentioned before, reading, prayer, doing some sort of worship or movement in your body. And then moving your body is powerful. It can be either a little small movement like some stretches or just kind of getting your body and your joints moving, or you can do an entire workout routine. That's really up to you and how much time you have or where you want to put your movement routine in your day. But that can really set your day off for success. And then last but not least, what I like to do at the end is just spend a few moments visualizing my day and believing good things, believing that I can, if there's an obstacle or a barrier or hurdle that I have, I start to believe that I can overcome it and start to picture myself and believe that it's going to go well. I'm going to walk through it. I start to shift any mindsets that I have and really just enter in after I get out of my morning chair, that I'm going to come out of it successful, and I'm going to come out of it and it's going to be a good day. And I just declare over this day, this is going to be a good day. So I hope this is helpful for you. This can really be done in any situation you're going through. But of course, I love to apply it to my health and my work, my spiritual life, my mental life, and the things and the goals and dreams that I'm going after during the day. So if this is helpful for you, I've actually got a fun little download that in the links below on my website as well, that you can download and even print out a little checkout list, as well as more information about how to kind of create your own morning routine. So I look forward to hearing stories. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear how that goes for you. Okay. Bless you. Bye.